adé tó tinú àdéwà òun ni ìyọ̀wà ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ tí ń gbélẹ̀kẹ̀ mi ní ìjòyè kárọ̀ṣọ tí ò wọ́pọ̀ káfípele tí ò wọ́pọ̀ lè ní ìyálòdì. Jolas Radio and TV láti máa láǹfààní láti máa jẹ ìgbádùn àwọn ètò lórúkọ ọ̀jọ̀kan, ètò bí ètò eré ìdárayá, ètò tó ń gbẹ́búrọ́, ètò tó ń múlẹ́rọ́, ètò tó ń gbé àṣà Yorùbá lárugẹ, ètò tó ń kọ́ àwọn ọ̀dọ́ bí a ṣe ń ṣe ilé ayé, ètò tó ń mú wa súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run ní gbogbo ojoojúmọ́ ọjọ́ ayé wa. Jolas Radio and TV láti máa ní àǹfààní láti máa jẹ ìgbádùn àwọn ètò yìí lọ́lọ́kan ọ̀jọ̀kan. Ẹ máa gbọ́ wa Jolas Radio and TV.
You're welcome to Jolas Online Radio and TV station, Eleyele Ibadan. This is another edition of Greater Tomorrow Platform. Greater Tomorrow Platform is a program that is designed to showcase our young people. It's a platform we have given them to air their views, to show their talent, to show their skills, to show everything. It's just basically about young people. And when I talk about young people, it could even be toddlers, preteens, teenagers, and young adults. Basically for young people. You're welcome to today's edition. I am your regular host, Chinyere Adeyemo. You're welcome. Today on Greater Tomorrow Platform, we're going to have two segments. We have the guest segment and then we have a talk segment. Now, the guest segment, we're going to be talking about something very important, especially to our young people. You know, these days, we can't afford to just allow our young people grow in one direction. So, in addition to academics, we need to equip them with other skills. And this morning, I have my guest in the studio, beautiful Gift Phillips, a student of Timpet Ebullient Model School, Eleyele Ibadan. And she's going to be teaching us, discussing with us, one of the skills she has learned as a young girl. One of the skills she has learned as a young person. And guess what? She learned it in school. And as we discuss, I am sure you'll be challenged to also equip any young person around you with profitable skills. Join me to welcome Gift Phillips, an SS2 student of Timpet Ebullient Model School, Eleyele Ibadan. Gift, you're welcome to my show. I'm sure they didn't hear you. Gift, you're welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Good. Greater Tomorrow Platform welcomes you. So, you want to talk with us about a skill you have learned, baking. And you want to teach us the steps in baking. You know, sometimes some people think it's when you have finished school and you have started working, you can learn such things. But this is Timpet. This is her school uniform. Isn't it lovely? And she has already acquired the skill, which means that we can teach our children these things simultaneously. We don't necessarily have to wait for them to end one part of their lives, one part of their education before they learn something. So Timpet is Gift, I beg your pardon, is going to teach us how to bake, the processes involved in baking a cake. Now I understand she's going to be teaching us the processes involved in baking a cake for like 20 cupcakes, right, Gift? All right, so go ahead and speak out.
The ingredients in making a cake recipe for 20 cupcakes are 250 grams of margarine, 1 cup of sugar, 6 eggs, 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg and flavor.
Can you take it again?
The ingredients in making a cake recipe are 250 grams of margarine.
Okay, let me amplify. 250 grams of margarine,
1 cup of sugar,
1 cup of sugar,
6 eggs,
6 eggs,
1 1 tablespoon of baking powder,
1 tablespoon of baking powder,
3 cups of flour,
3 cups of flour,
1 teaspoon of nutmeg,
1 teaspoon of nutmeg,
and flavor.
and flavor. Remember, we are talking about baking a cake for 20 cupcakes. Alright, go on.
Okay, the procedure. Step 1. In a neat bowl, pour the margarine and the sugar and stir with a turning stick in a particular direction until the sugar dissolves. Step 2. You break the eggs in another bowl and mix it until the yolk and the egg whites are properly mixed. Step 3. Pour the egg into the already mixed margarine and sugar and stir gradually until the mixture becomes fluffy. Step 4. Mix the flour, the baking powder and the nutmeg in another bowl and add bit by bit the already mixed egg, sugar and margarine. Then stir. Step 5. Add the flavor. It could be butterscotch as desired. Step 6. Pour the mixture into cake cups and arrange them neatly into the preheated oven for about 15 minutes to 1 hour. To be sure if your cake is ready, you can use a knife to check the cake. If the knife appears to have some particles of cake on it, leave it for some minutes. But if the knife appears to be neat when it is removed from the cake is ready. Thank you.
Wow. Can you see? It's just simple steps. In simple steps, you just told us how to bake a cake. Gift, have you baked a cake before?
Yes.
Oh, really? You have?
Yes.
Who did you bake it for?
For my family.
Really? So when they ate your cake, what did they say? Or was it just...
They appreciated the cake. It was a good taste.
Oh, it had a good taste? Really? That's good. So how did you even get to learn about baking?
It's my school. We have every Friday we do an entrepreneurship class, and our proprietress is our teacher.
Wow. That's a thumbs up for your school. That every Friday they hold an entrepreneurship class, and the school authority took it upon themselves to teach these children. And see, today Gift is a testimony of that knowledge they have passed. She has learned. So Gift, what do you hope to do with this skill?
I hope that one day I will have my own cake business, a big one.
Wow. She hopes to run her cake business someday. It's just that she didn't bring samples of this cake she has told us about today, because imagine us having this program and then I'm chewing cake, she's chewing cake, to have made it more, you know what I mean. All right, so you have learned how you can bake a cake. By the way, if I don't have an oven, can I still bake a cake?
Yes, you can bake it.
Oh really? How?
You can either use a stove or a gas. You place your pot, a big pot on the gas, and then you can use sand. When the sand is hot, you just place the cake inside the pan and cover the pot.
Are you serious? You mean, so are you listening, those of us out there, that if you want to test what she has just taught us, you don't necessarily have to wait till you have an oven. There is no excuse. She's saying that you can even use your pot and your stove. That's the barest. You can even use firewood, I'm sure, if you can control it well. You see, you can use firewood, you can use your stove, you can use the gas, as long as you are particular, you're watching the heat, you're watching the heat level, that you can put sand. I know they also use salt, some use salt. You can heat salt, you can heat sand and put it as a base in the pot, and then you put the shapes of the cake in it, right? Wow, thank you very much. Gift hopes to run a cake business in future. Join me to wish her well in her cake business in future. And what have you learned as a parent? You must have learned that you can teach that child, your child, or that child around you, any skill. Even as they are young, even as they go to school, you can teach them a skill. And as they grow, it's even better when you teach them when they are young. How is that slogan said? Catch them young. Catch them young. So you can teach them when they are young, and as they grow older, just like it is in the scripture, train a child the way he should go. When he grows, when he grows old, he will not depart from it. Likewise, even in skills acquisition, when the child grows old, the child would have internalized everything about that skill. Thank you very much, Gift, for joining me on this section.
You're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we move on. Now, we're going to talk about choices too. We're going to talk about choices. As a young person, what choices are you making? This morning, I want to talk with us very briefly about choices. Now, what's a choice? A choice is an option. A choice is a decision. A choice can also be said to be an opportunity to select, or a selection or preference. That's what a choice is. Now, in line with having Gift here, she made a choice. The school taught them, the school decided to run entrepreneurship classes for them, and they've been teaching them different skills. And one of the skills they taught was baking. And Gift took it upon herself to learn. And she didn't just learn, she went to practice it at home, such that today she's my guest to talk about that skill. So, a choice is an opportunity to select. A choice means to select or have a preference. Now, as a young person out there, what are the things? There are certain things I would like us to note about choices. One of them is that everyone has been given a free will to choose. As a young person, you have a free will to choose. You have a free will to choose. She had a free will to learn how to bake or not to bake. And then she decided to learn how to bake. Perhaps there are people in her class, in her school, who didn't feel they should learn it. Maybe they didn't listen the day they were teaching them. But she learned and she practiced. So you have a free will. Now, as a young person too, you need to also understand that life will always present you with situations to make choices. Life will always present you as a young person with situations to make choices. And then the choices you make will produce results that will either become rewards to you or consequences. She decided to learn to bake. Now, one of the rewards is that she's here on air with me to teach about that skill she learned. Another person who perhaps did not learn will be ignorant. So the consequence of not learning that skill is ignorance in that area. Now, as a young person, perhaps you're a student. You're a student. You make a choice to study hard, and the reward will be to excel, to pass, to come out in flying colors. Or you make a decision not to study hard, and what is the consequence? Failure. Perhaps having to repeat that class or that thing you were supposed to have passed. And then it brings a delay. It brings a delay. So, another thing we need to know about consequences, about choices, another example is respecting constituted authorities. As a young person, do you respect your parents? You know, if you respect your parents, one of the reward is blessings. And then you have peace. You are at peace because you know what is right with you. And if you do not respect your parents, if you do not respect constituted authorities like the school authority, like the authority of the land, what happens? Even you won't be at peace, because you may be arrested, you'll be punished. I mean, you'll bear the consequences of that choice. So, as an individual, you need to realize that the choices you make can make you or break you. As a young person, you need to also understand that you are a product of your past choices. For instance, Gift here is a product of that choice she made to learn how to bake. And because she learned how to bake and she practiced it and we see the results, when it was time to get somebody to come and teach us about baking, she was the choice that was given me. So you are a product of your choices. What is that thing you are procrastinating doing? You know it's a choice you're making. You know it's a choice you're making. And what is that thing you are putting in your energy to learn and excel at? You know that's also a choice. So you are a product of your choices. Your choices can make you or break you. I also want you to know that there are certain areas you should never overlook when it comes to making choices. There are certain areas you should not overlook when it comes to making choices. One, as a young person, please do not overlook the area of your walk with God. As much as we try to make it look like, see, these things don't matter, a good relationship with God matters. It's a foundation. I mean, you have to be connected to a spiritual being. So you need to make a wise choice concerning your relationship with God. Is God real to you? What's your relationship with Him? You also need to be very intentional in your relationships. How is that thing said? That there is tremendous power in associations. Who are you associating with as a young person? Whether as a student, whether as a young person who has finished school and you're working, who are you associating with? Who are you associating with? Because you see, associations are powerful. Your relationships are powerful. Like I said, they can make you or they can break you. Now, can we quickly evaluate your relationships? Let's evaluate it mathematically. I mean, including maths in your relationship. How can we do that? Those people you are relating with right now, whether in school, whether in the neighborhood, whether at home, may even be online. What are they adding to you? Are they adding value to your life? We're evaluating our relationships mathematically now. Are they adding to your lives? Are they adding value to your life? Or are they subtracting from your life? Is your association with them subtracting from your life? Is it subtracting from your values? Is it subtracting from your health? You know, if you associate with people that smoke and people that drink and people that do all those bad stuff, it's actually reducing, it's subtracting from your life. We're evaluating your relationships. Is it adding to you? Is it subtracting? Is it multiplying your joy? When you think of your relationship, the vital people you're connected with, the vital people you associate with, do you feel a sense of joy? Does joy bubble in you? Or is it multiplying your sorrow? Can you think about what I said? Your association, how is it adding to you? How is it subtracting to you? Is your association making you make compromises that even you are not happy with? You know, there are some people, when you have been with them, after they leave, you begin to feel bad with yourself for the time you have spent with them, for all the things, the nasty things perhaps you said while you were with them. Do you understand? Is that how your association makes you feel? Then I think you need to do something about that association. Now, let's talk about you too. The choices you're making, are they adding value to you? Are they subtracting from you? Are they making you better? The choices you're making right now, deep down, be very honest. Are your choices making you a better person? Are they helping you towards those goals you dream to attain? Are they helping you hit your set goals? The choices you're making, are they making you better? Now, for those of you out of school, the choices you're making right now, are they propelling you towards your desired future? The people you're associating with, and when I mean people you're associating with, not necessarily physically. It could be digitally. It could be online, could be offline, could be at home, I mean anywhere. That association, is it making those choices? Are they making you better? Are they propelling you? For instance, you want to go to school and you're joking with preparing for your JAMB. You're joking with, you want to further your studies, that is. You're joking with paying the price now and working hard to pass. You know, it's a choice you're making. Everything, we're a product of choices in life. Everything you're doing today is a choice. If you choose to sleep too much, it's a choice. If you choose to eat too much, it's a choice. If you choose to drink, to smoke, to do any bad stuff or good stuff, it's a choice. And like I said earlier, it has rewards or it has consequences. Now, for those of you who are into business, the choices you make too, you're making choices. What choices are you making to make profit? Now, as I wrap up, what can we do for those of us who want to make choices? What can we do to perhaps begin to make better choices? One, you need to decide. You need to decide that, see, I've been going in the wrong direction, I want to go in the right way. Or maybe you've even been going in the right and you want to even scale better, you want to do better. You decide. And then you determine to stick to that decision. And then you refuse to be distracted. You refuse to be distracted by friends, by negative comments, because people will make negative comments. You refuse to be distracted by ridicule. Just focus on that thing you have decided, you have made a choice to achieve. Another thing you should do if you want to start making great choices is to learn from successful people. You learn from them by association. And this association may not even be physical. Do you understand? These days, there are several ways we can associate with people. You can go and learn from them digitally. For those of them who have products, for those of them who have content, who have materials, perhaps online. There are some people, you won't believe it was after they died, I started learning from them. How? By interacting, by relating, by associating with their contents online. So you can do that too. You don't necessarily have to know a successful person before you can learn from them. If they have contents digitally, go and start learning, go and start listening to it, interact with it, learn from it, learn their patterns, follow it. You can buy their books if they have books. If they have programs like seminars and all that, go ahead and register for them. You are learning, you are also making a choice to associate with them. And of course, when you have done these things, keep doing it, keep getting better. You understand? Keep getting better. Those days they used to tell us the sky is the limit. You know how it's said today? The sky is the starting point. So, you want to make a choice. As you listen to me and you're making a choice, it could be spiritually. You're making a choice to be a better person spiritually. You're making a choice to be a better person morally. You want to make a choice to be a better person financially. You want to make a choice to be a better person in your academics, in your field of endeavor, whatever you can. Your choice, your desire is valid. Your desire is valid. Determine. Associate with successful people. Then make sure you do not rest on your earth. I assure you, you will reap immense benefits of that reward, of that choice. Your rewards will be immense. You've been listening to Jolash Online Radio and TV Station, Eleyele Ibadan, and the program has been Greater Tomorrow Platform with Chinyere Adeyemo. This morning, we had a guest with us, Gift, and she talked to us about baking, and then also talked to us about choices. Do you know somebody who should be on this program, who should be showcased as a young person? Then feel free to contact us on Jolash online radio and TV station Eleyele Ibadan. Call our lines and let that person get in touch with us, and the person, of course, will be our guest. It will be our desire, our pleasure to showcase any young person who is doing amazing things in her space or his space. So this is how it's been on Greater Tomorrow platform today with Chinyere Adeyemo, and as I sign off, I'm going to ask Gift to tell us bye-bye. And okay, Gift, tell our audience bye-bye. Bye. Thank you very much, Gift, for coming. Thank you very much, Timpet Ebullient Model School, Eleyele Ibadan, for releasing Gift to us to be our guest. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Chukuma, the owners of the school, for releasing Gift. Thank you very much. So, till I come your way next week for another interesting edition of Greater Tomorrow platform, don't forget, you are a product of your choices, and everything you're doing now is a choice. Make good choices. Bye-bye. See you next week.